Time came and I owned it, just like Brian Jackson start bowling. When I touched the rock and I cracked the block, when I pulled up and that mustard drop with that roof off and my shoes off and y'all bitch niggas. Roof off, real nigga in my hood who everybody gon' roof off. They see me come from that bottom where everybody get bodied. They told me get him, I got him. Now I'm here, nigga, like yeah, nigga, just Rolls Royce and Bugattis and M4s this year, nigga. If I don't grind, I don't shine.
Yeah, all glory to God. Let's go. Man, the Lord has been so good to me. I done had people tell me what I wouldn't be, and I done been so many places that I shouldn't be. But I'm thankful for His grace. I seek His face, He could be through with me. I say He saved my life and people laugh at me, but if you see where I was headed, you would clap with me. Let me celebrate this life that I've been given. I got plenty homies locked up in that prison. Let them know they've been forgiven. I am not the only one that got His saved. I preach this gospel so you come up out that grave. Just repent and turn away. I came a long way from that trap of getting blazed. That's why they call it.
You my guy. Like that. You my guy.
He said you a barber, man. That's something, man.
Yeah, exactly.
You got X-ray vision now.
Yeah.
That's what you doing?
You ain't Chris Angel, bro. You ain't attention to this thing, man.
You ain't gonna go fast. The Chosen One. Yes, sir.
You know what I'm talking about, AD?
How you feeling, brother?
Hey, can you get that?
Yeah.
Can you get that?
Yeah.
Huh?
Okay.
The
Chosen One.
Like I said, I be feeling like LeBron, man. Like everybody think they a barber to
with the gold and purple.
Yeah, I be feeling like LeBron.
With the gold. Yes, sir. Everything been up with you?
Man, you know, just trying to level up and take over this barber game, man.
I see.
Just shed light and, you know, hopefully be an inspiration and motivation to these youngsters and even to these old schools, man. You know, they've been cutting here so long, like, you know, they kind of set in their ways.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you know, it's just like, man, this is a craft. This is a profession. Like, take pride in it, man.
Yeah, I see you got a lot of passion behind this. You know, the whole vibe in here is just a passion, like a vibe, you know?
Yeah, man. Like, you know, like I said, I just wanted to do something different. Like, I felt like every barbershop in Temple, and no disrespect, there's been some great barbershops lined up here, like Ace of Spades, Aftermath. You know, it's a good little vibe. You know, some of them are a little young, but at the end of the day, that works for them.
Yeah.
You know? Like for me personally, you know, I went over there and, you know, I told my clients, like, hey, man, it's a little bit more rah-rah over there. I'm just letting y'all know because, you know, I got a lot more older, distinguished clientele. And I just let them know, man, that, you know, there's a lot more loud music, extra explicit videos type shit. And they're just like, Fab, I don't give a shit, man. You know, I just want a good haircut. I was like, all right, just letting y'all know.
Every time.
And then, like I said, I was there like a month. And before all this whole pandemic shit happened, and then it was just like, bro, like I had got like 4 complaints in 1 month. And these are clients that are paying like $50, $60, $70 a haircut. So,
complaints on what, your work or?
Yeah. You know, like basically, you know, I'm charging $30, $40, but you know, they blessing my game, you know, $20, $30 tips.
Right.
You know, and I got some clients that shit pay me $100. You know, so it's like at the end of the day, man, you know, you can be the best barber in the world. But if you ain't got a canvas to put it on, then it's all for nothing. So at the end of the day, it's like, shit, you know, I'm here to cater to them. You know, I heard this one quote in this little meme, or whatever, however you want to put it. It says something about, like, barbers aren't God's gift to clients. Clients are God's gift to barbers. Let that sink in a little bit, man.
So,
yeah, wealth is in your service to others, bro.
Yeah, like this man here, like shit, he been with me about going on 3.5 years. And I mean, I'm gonna shed light on it a little bit, but like the reason why he here doing this now, like with you, Corey, like you were the first one to shoot my video.
Right.
Salute to you.
Appreciate it.
And I seen your growth within this 3 years. And I told you, remember after you shot Briscoe's and then you shot my video, I said, boy, you finna take off.
Yeah.
And then boom.
For shit,
But now,
all
like you
gas,
said,
no
you're
break.
trying to level up to another degree. So it's about, damn the complacency, you know what I'm saying? It's about, you know, getting to that next step and becoming separated, set apart. So like with him, you know, when we did that video, you know, bro, even on that video, like when we do this thing and edit this thing and whatnot, I want you to show a little snippet of that video. Do you still got it?
Yeah, for sure.
So
In the
I want
archives,
you to
I got
add
it.
in there again, you know, so the audience, the crowd can see, like, okay, he being for real. But like this man been with me like 3.5 years. So it's just like, from a barber standpoint, like we appreciate loyalty. Because it's like at the end of the day, like, okay, this dude coming every week, every 2, every 3 minutes, bam. And bro, his service $40. Easily chunked me $70, $80 off top with no questions, no complaints. And it's just at the end of the day, man, like, I love this dude, man, because I've grown to know him.
And what's your, you know, I mean to cut you off.
No, you good.
Chosen, what's your experience, bro? Like, as far as like, what make you be that loyal to come back, as far as like experience wise?
Man, I'm gonna tell you, a lot of the world right now is about, you know, it's about quantity over quality. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So when I first heard about Fab, I went to go see him, and I was like, okay, it's just another barber, because I had a couple bad experiences. I would show up to the barbers, it'd be that low budget service, you know what I mean? Get you in, get you out. Maybe even make you sit in the chair while dudes go off and eat chicken wings, you know what I'm talking about?
Right, take lunch break.
Like 20, 30 minutes to get in line, you know
Exactly.
what I mean? Fab, when I came in, it's a vibe, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And if I go back, you know, I'm gonna call it out. The barbershop I went to about 5 years ago. I don't even think Fab was there yet. I walked in, and you know, I'm an energy dude. The energy wasn't there. Like all the barbers were kind of just looking at me. I don't know if I need an appointment. I don't know if I can walk in or what. But they just kind of let me sit there for a minute. Then they came up and like, "Hey, you got an appointment with somebody?" I was like, "Nah." And they kind of left it at that. I said, "Well, do I need to make an appointment?" You know what I mean? So the energy was kind of off. I heard about Fab.
This was where I was used to be.
This is where it used to be. Yeah. You know. And so 2 years later, I'm looking for a barber. They say, "Hey, I know a dude. Go see him or whatever." I walk in, I'm like, "Yeah, but he cut at that same spot. I don't know about that spot." You know, they're like, "Nah, trust me, go talk to him." So I go in, immediately out top, like, "Hey, what's up? How you doing? What can I do for you?" Getting to know you, know, getting to know me, things like that.
Right.
So that was initially the energy was right. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So the
Like
energy
my
was right.
professionalism was different.
Exactly. He was a professional, and I could tell right off top, just by that, he was about what he does. He wasn't just there to make the money. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So.
That make a big difference.
I sit in the chair, the conversation's good, the cut is awesome, you know what I mean? So from that moment on, I knew for him, it was about his art, it was about his craft, it was about making sure that I left there feeling 10 times better than what I did when I walked in.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that off top was like, okay, I'm gonna keep going back to him. And even as he continued to evolve and raise his prices, I told myself I'm never gonna go to anybody else, because to be honest, this was the first dude I ever had where I said, yeah, I got a barber.
Mm-hmm.
Up until then, it was just like, let me go get a haircut where I can. But that was kind of what I got to know.
But that's just what you was used to. Because
Right,
at the end of
yeah.
the day, there wasn't a shop. Because, like, let's be technical now. Like, back in the day, like, you know, mid-90s, early 2000s, what did we have to go off of? Kelly's.
Yeah.
GN's.
Yeah.
TJ Ike's once Travell left Kelly's.
Yeah.
Because that's where I got my haircut at first when
Yeah.
I was 15. So I experienced the quote-unquote urban shop. I'm not going to say black. I'm not going to say
Right.
just more of the urban type shop. You know, it's on the east side. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. But bro, like when I went there, I don't mean to cut you off, I'm gonna let you continue.
No, you
but
good.
it was just like you said, it was just the whole vibe. Like I was just wow, bro. Like niggas in there selling hot plates, CDs, DVDs.
Yeah, the DVD era. I remember that. I remember that.
Everything, bro. Like I would literally go in there because at that time, like you know, haircuts were $12, $15. I was still chunking Travell like 20. Because here I was in high school working a full-time job at Skyline, so it wasn't nothing to me.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, like I always blessed this game. But man, like I go in there with $20. And sometimes walk out of there with 40, 50 because, you know, these dope boys or whoever want to come buy my spot.
Not to
so
mention,
I'm in there chilling.
Not to mention, you know, growing up in Temple, Belton, Texas, my mom was a single mom, so that'd be where I'd go and I'd hear like real men conversations.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, dude, it might be about sports, it might be about business, it might be about they girl, it might be about whatever, but I'm like 8, 9 years old, my mom dropped me off. She come pick me up 2 hours later. I done heard things I would never hear.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
It's a different vibe.
yeah, exactly, man. So that was my, and I'm not to mention before that, I was getting my hair cut. My mom didn't know where to go.
Real quick. I mean, cut you off again, but are you in a hurry?
No.
But
What was I saying? Oh yeah. So my mom would drop me off, you know what I mean? But before that, dude, we didn't know where to go get a haircut. And my mom is a white lady, but she knows not everybody can just cut my hair. So we would go to like like a super cuts type cut, you know what I mean? Like a commercial cut.
Right.
I remember I had I never told you this story, so I remember I had a choir concert that night, or I was in like 4th grade.
Was you in the front row?
Man, I had a solo.
Oh no.
I had a solo.
Calm down, Brian McKnight.
Calm down. Save something for the rest.
We was doing a Christmas play. Now, I'm going to have to charge you extra if I sing out there. So, I had a solo in a Christmas play, right? My mom, at this time, we didn't know where I was going to go. I'm like in 2nd or 3rd grade or something like that. So, she rushed me to one of them commercial stylists, you know, bless this lady, the older white lady. Like, yeah, I cut his hair, this and that. I remember she cut my hair, and I had an edge up that went like this. It was a rainbow.
Not the rainbow.
Like a rainbow, right? Rainbow. No style to it whatsoever. She showed me, she pulled a mirror out and said, here you go. I bawled.
No.
I start crying.
He knew
bro.
it instantly what it was.
Crying. And normally, you know, my mom was like, boy, you better stop crying, type of, you know, this and that.
Like, shut up, mama. You can catch it right now,
Exactly.
too.
My mom saw me. She pulled me up out the chair, took me home, shaved it all off before the show, bro, because it was that bad.
Wow.
Cut it off.
Looking like it was
So I was bald, right? So I had no choice but to
Orphan
show out
kid.
as a solo. But from that night on, my mom started asking friends, whatever, and that's how I got introduced to going to Kelly's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
So I went in there,
With your bell?
yeah. Went in there, got the haircut.
Been up
whatever.
ever since.
That was my first time, even as a youngster, saying, "Oh, this is what a
This
real
is what it
haircut.
look like.
This is what a real haircut looks like, man." And you know, ever since then, growing up, like all the way up until like middle school, I would get my haircut there, you know.
Yeah.
And then I ended up having homeboys that could cut hair, you know. And that, for me, that's kind of where, you know,
It start from there.
the
It
seed
start.
of, and it's a seed of self-confidence because
Yeah.
coming out of a barber chair, you feel like you can go out there and handle whatever you need to handle. You know
You
what
feel
I
like
mean?
you can pull it in.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Especially like going into like high school and
Yeah.
that whole phase of becoming a man and
Boys will roast you.
certain
You know what I mean?
things matter, you know.
High side on you. I don't know if these kids
Like
can
I-
say high side, but that's what it used to be back in the day.
High side,
Like
yeah.
I seen a meme, like it said something about like your barber is the most important person in your life or something like that. I'm kind of paraphrasing, but it's like he's the reason why you either get female sliding in your DM for 2 weeks or getting roasted for 2 weeks.
It's gonna be one of the
Yeah,
two.
it's gonna be
Or
one of
he
the
the
two.
reason why your girl got to get a gun to keep
Right.
the females
Yeah.
off you, right?
Yeah, but yeah, the Chosen One, Fabian. I want to dig into some history. You know, let the people know.
Shovel that then.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I want to start from the beginning. Take me through there, like, you know, we'll dig into the barber part later, but I'm
Right.
talking about from the jump of, you know, like lifestyle, like before all this became what it is. You know what I mean? Where you come from?
I'm gonna kind of take you down through there real quick, but I'm gonna give it to you in a nutshell. So I hope you can keep up. But like when I first went to barber school, it was in 2000 over there at OG's in Killeen. Shout out Mr. Lane. But you know, back then I was just a knucklehead kid, man. Like, you know, I was working dead end jobs, warehouse, waiting tables, selling weed. Just didn't ever think I was gonna be nothing really, man. At the end of the day, I just thought, you know, I'll just be one of these regular barbers. Hey, you know, I ain't gotta worry about no piss tests, I ain't gotta worry about no like drug shop, none of that.
Right.
So I was like, it's too easy. And then of course I just wanted to be my own boss. Because at the end of the day, like if you look over here, like, you know, it just said build your own dreams or someone else will hire you to build theirs. And that's facts, man. You know, and that's why I am here where I am. But anyway, going back, I started in 2000 and they have a thing called 64, basically 8 times 8 is 64. So you got 8 days to kind of fuck off or whatever.
Right.
But once you go past that 8 days, then they drop you. So I 64 like 3-4 times. I went to jail like 2-3 times. I was dating this chick in Austin, so I was commuting. My car broke down, so I had to quit. And the thing there is that like if you continue to come back like within 5 years, you just pick up where you left off. So long story short, as years went by, man, here it is, just like, you know, again, working dead end jobs, not happy. And I always told myself, and it takes me back when I was in high school, to remember back then, like when you came in freshman year, like you would do those little time capsules, or,
Right.
you know, what you wanted to be, whatever. And I always told myself I wanted to be in my career by the time I was 30, and I wanted to be married by the time I was at least 40, and I wanted just to be to the point where like I was successful. So when I went back to barber school back in 09, I basically had 300 hours left to do. Boom, knocked them 300 hours, boom. I started out at Diamond Cuts, downtown with Broderick. That's no longer there, but I was there like maybe 3 months because I graduated in like June. I started in July. And then boom, I lasted till like the end of August, September.
Right.
And it was just really a lot of hate. So I say that to say this, and this again is going to be the purpose and reasoning for this video, is like I just want to bring awareness, because it's like, you know, why do other barbers hate on other barbers? I never got that. Like, we're in the same career. I can understand like friendly competition,
right.
But like to the point where like, you know, I've seen instances where clients come in and don't nobody acknowledge them, or like, you know, oh, such and such is too busy, we're booked, and they just turn it back on. Like, you don't go the extra mile to be like, hey, well, let me holler at my other homeboy down here, see if they can get you. Again, customer service.
Yeah, I see a lot of that in the shop. It's a lot of, you know, people got what, you know, their own clientels or the set amount of people they want to work with, so they don't acknowledge it. You know, they just, whoever gonna get them. But
right, facts. So it's just like, again, so after I left there, boom, I started over there at Granville with Lawrence. Shout out to Lawrence Granville. Thank you for giving me a chance, a platform over there. But here I was, again, fresh out of school. Well, long story short, there was a rumor about me that I was selling weed out that other dude's shop, which that wasn't even the case. And then at the end of the day, he was just hating because he was from Baytown or something, and I'm from Temple, I'm a local kid, so of course I'm gonna get love, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm from the streets, I'm from the east side, I played baseball, so like I had different clientele. It wasn't just hood people, it wasn't just white folks.
Brought everything to the table.
Right. So like moving forward, that rumor kept following me, and I bullshit you not, Corey, I literally sat in a chair for like almost 2 months. In like 2 months, I probably cut 10 heads.
Wow.
And bro, like, so I got to the point where I thought about like, man, I gotta make something shape. Either I need to rethink this barber career shit, or I need to go ahead and sell me some weed. Well, what did I do? Boom, I sell me some weed. Because I wasn't gonna quit. I'm like, I didn't pay all this money to go to barber school, I didn't finish, so that's just what it is. And so, long story short, after about 2 months, there was one busy weekend, I knocked out this nice haircut, and then boom, it just took off for me. Right. And then from that point on, it was what it was. But even back then, it's like I didn't honor it like that back then. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just didn't take pride in it. Like, I was just your bullshit barber.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Like, come in late, leave early, smelling like weed, everything.
Doing the most.
Right. So it was just like, once I finally started taking off, and then by this time I'm in the street shit, boom, I got my door kicked in.
Yeah, I wanted to tap in on that, man. I wasn't too sure, but I thought it was something that you went, you know, you was locked up for a little while over, you was locked up for a little bit, and then you bounced back, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
so yeah, you know, basically, you know, I got ran up on in 2013, did my time, got a 12, did a 2 on it, came home in 2015. Well, right before I came home, and let me back up a little bit, like one of my prayers was like, Father God, just please have me home before my barber license is expired.
There was a time limit on it, okay.
There was a time limit. It was going to be expired September 9th of 2015. Boy, I came home September 7th, 2015. And again, all honor and glory to God. But at the same time, you know, I was just like, I was in there cutting, doing my thing. I went to a halfway house, and I had to stay there 3 months. So I was on a strict like 9 to 5 schedule. I had to have somebody come pick me up, drop me off type thing. But moving forward, you know, the owner of Ace of Fade would be like, man, where's your barber license? And I was like, man, I don't know. Like, you know, I renewed it. I just don't know what's going on. So finally, I reached out to TDLR and, you know, the licensing people. And I'm like, hey, what's going on with my license? And they're like, oh, well, Mr. Ortiz, we just sent a letter. And mind you, I've been home like 6 months by this time. They're like, we just sent you a letter talking about we revoked your license. And I'm like, what? And they're like, and I heard it while I was in there, like people that caught weed cases, dope charges, they were suspending license now. And see, that's why back then, you know, dope boys, drug dealers would want to be barbers because, again, there wasn't no trace of that. There wasn't no record of that.
Yeah.
And that's why it was just an easy income for people that want to be on the block.
Yeah, that was a lot of my cuts was from a lot of street dudes, you know what I mean? Just trapping out there getting it.
Yeah.
But they would cut at the same time.
Right.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, again, I'm just like, moving forward, you know, I went to prison, and then I was even cutting hair in prison. So at that point, that's where I felt like I really started like kind of taking off because you was limited. You had like one clipper,
right,
2 guards, and then a comb. You didn't have nothing else, no scissors, no nothing. So that's where I feel like I started kind of honing in. So when I came home from prison, boom, and I know I backed up a little bit, but you know, I went to Ace of Spades, cutting there, and then somebody snitched me out, saying that I was in there cutting without a license. And the owner had told me when I first started, well, when it got exposed, he was just like, look, I'm gonna let you get it in, but at the same time, we know what's up, and if you get popped, you gotta pay half the fine. Okay, agreed. So my thing was like, I kept on going.
Yeah,
finally, like I said, TDR ran up on me. I had to get up out of there, and that was in 16. So from that point on, and mind you, I had a decent clientele. You know what I'm saying? By that time, you know, I've been cutting for some years, and so like, my thing was, man, you know, I went to go cut at the house, at my mama's house, in the porch. Bro, I remember having people lined up in my mama's living room. And mom like in there like trying to serve tacos and shit. Like, mom, come on, chill, man.
She trying to get it in too.
You know what I'm saying? So, but at the end of the day, thanks to my mom and my dad that gave me that opportunity because I was still able to bring in some type of income while I was still trying to like just transition back into society. And so I was just like, you know, I got it in. So I was like thinking like, man, shit, I'm making like $400 or $500 a week. I'm like, no booze rent, I'm good.
Yeah.
So I just kind of got complacent. And I was just like, you know, I'm content. It is what it is. And then finally, after a while, you know, by this time, I'm starting to see how the barber game is evolving. Like the social media.
The change, right.
Instagram. Like all these like shows and competitions. And I'm just kind of like, like, bro, like I'm missing the barbershop vibe, you know? So I just told myself, it's my goal to get my shit back in order by 2017. And I got up off my ass, and that's just what I did. You know what I'm saying?
So, like, what was that push? Like, who inspired you to just keep this going, to keep this, like, okay, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to zone into. Like, it ain't no going back.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Me. You know, at the end of the day, like, I'm my worst critic. And, like, you know, Bryce has come to know about, we were talking about this earlier sometime. Like, at the end of the day, you know, some people may take me as cocky or, you know, I'm riding on shit or whatever. But that's not the case. At the end of the day, it's like, you know, I just love and appreciate this game, this craft. And I don't even want to call it a game because it's not. This is reality. You know, people pay house notes, mortgages, cars, tuition with, you know, an income behind a barber chair. And at the end of the day, like, bro, what I made in 2019, I would have never thought I would have made behind a barber chair in Temple, Texas. So, you know, again, just moving forward, I ended up getting my stuff back in order. Boom, jumped back into Ace of Spades, February of 17. And the rest is history, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I locked in. I was just like, my thing was like, I don't want to be a complacent, just regular barber in Temple. So I started watching these Instagrams, started getting just tutorials and different techniques and investing in different tools. And you see what I'm saying? Like, bro, like, I'm not trying to stunt, but at the end of the day, this is over like $1,500, $2,000 worth of tools. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's like they say, invest in your craft.
Absolutely.
And I do not hesitate at all. You can understand what better cameras,
Right.
whatever. You know, it's about quality, not quantity.
So fast forward a little bit, I seen, you know, you worked at Ace of Spades. You was locked in. It seemed like you was building your name heavy over there.
Right.
And then, you know, the Chosen one started to pop up here and there. I started seeing it a lot more. You know, how'd you come about that?
The Chosen one?
Yeah. Self-explanatory.
Nah, it really ain't.
Yeah.
It really ain't.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, let me shed light.
Yeah, please do. I want to hear this story.
See, I even got it tatted. So, like, that's just some for real shit, man. But really what this Chosen one is, I remember being prophesied over when I was 15. And 17, 18, and 20. And every prophet told me that I was going to be a youth pastor. And everybody told me, I don't even know what it was, what they were talking about, but they're like, boy, you got the spirit of David on you. And anybody that knows the Bible somewhat or know who David was, they think about that David and Goliath story, you know, how he slain that giant with the slingshot. But so again, I didn't know who David really was. David was considered to be the chosen one. You know, he had 7 older brothers. They considered him handsome. I consider myself handsome. And at the end of the day, you know, he succeeded over his brothers because God chose him personally. And then he was able to slay that giant because of with his faith. And at the end of the day, that's why I got the Chosen one. It ain't even on no barber or nickname platform shit. I just kind of flipped it to that because at this point, as the barber game was evolving, you know, people were using stage names. You know, and that's just kind of like, you know, on some cocky, or just like, you know, you don't want to use your government all the time. You know, certain things people want to start extorting you, or whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, you use the stage name. And so I decided, and really I started exposing that probably about, I don't know, 2015 when I came home, 16, I really just started just like pumping it, like, you know, like, yeah, man, I'm the chosen one. And it's just taking off from there. So now, what makes me the chosen one of the barber game, I'm not saying I'm the best hair cutter. There's a lot of talent out here. Don't get me wrong, a lot of talent. But what separates me and what makes me set apart is that my work ethic, my professionalism, the way I carry myself.
That's always going to stand out before anything.
Everything. So at the end of the day, you know, it's just like, it's much deeper than just cutting hair. I say cutting hair is maybe about like 40% of it. You know what I'm saying? And like I've talked to some clients, like somebody will take a half decent haircut, but long as you're available and consistent and reliable and your edge up game is straight. The fade ain't gotta be just super crispy. If it is, cool, more power to you. But at the end of the day, it's about just being consistent and available. That's what makes a successful barber. And that ones that just hungry and wants to elevate.
For this shit. Just a little bit. You feel that, Corey?
Yeah.
I feel like I do inspire them. They may not admit it, but like I said, it's my time. So let's get to it.
Yes, sir. All right. We on this little second part of the interview, you know, going to more personal detail stuff I want to touch on. Okay, one of the things I want to talk about while I got you is, what is your take on the new era of all the barbershop, the barbershop, just like the barbers in general, like the whole element of all that? Like, what is your touch on that part of it?
I mean, me personally, like I said, I've been barbering about 11 years now. And I've seen how it evolved, and I'm gonna just personalize it. I'm gonna talk about Temple exclusively, but you know, it applies to the barber craft all around. But again, you know, I put on for my city, and you know, being born and raised here, like I've seen it all. Like, you know, again, like when first growing up, you know, I used to get the backyard cuts, the super cuts.
Right.
So, you know, just basically getting at what you're saying, asking is like, how do I feel? I feel like it's watered down. I feel like at the end of the day, like there's no pride in it. And I'm not speaking on everybody, but I'm gonna say majority. Because I'm not gonna sit here and say like every young cat has like tainted the game. There've been some that they're hungry. You know, at the end of the day, Briscoe being one of them. Mm-hmm. You know, and you know, my personal barber, Felix Rivera, aka Gato.
He in Temple?
He in Temple. He got his own private suite. And at the end of the day, we call this the sweet life. You know, again, there's levels to this shit. Not making me or him better than the next. You know, again, the ultimate goal is to have me a big shop and have barbers under me. But anyways, just to kind of put a stamp on and moving on, I just feel like, you know, the work ethic sucks. The paying homage to the craft sucks. You know, everything is about quantity, not quality. And one thing I've learned, man, that quality is going to bring revenue.
Right, absolutely.
And my thing is, like I said, I've been cutting 11 years. Corey, I'm tired. I'm tired. And you know, like I said, I come in at 7. Sometimes I come in at 5, 6 in the morning, bro. In some cases, yeah, they're going to pay for that. But at the end of the day, it's about being available and convenient. Right. So again, you know, these young barbers are just kind of like stuck in their ways, or even the older generation too. Like some of them is just on some 9-to-5 shit. And I get it. You know, people got families, people got extracurricular activities. But again, that's what separates me. I'm always available.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like you asked me earlier before we got started, like, you got to cut tomorrow, fam? Yeah, I got 3-4 cuts on a Sunday. But again, that's how I start my week out. I start my week out on Sunday. So if I can start out with 150 to 250 off like 3-4 heads, shit, why not? But again, This is for the driven. It ain't for everybody. People are sometimes just being content, being a regular barber. Well, you know, you can have that.
So like touching on earlier, do you think like, or like is your goal? I don't want to say is your goal. So do you see yourself like inspiring other barbers? You know, some people I noticed that they do this to try to be that barber that people look up to.
Some of them do.
You know what I mean?
Some
like,
of them do.
You say you kind of.
Again, I wasn't this barber either. It takes time. But for what I'm trying to do, yes. I feel like everything I do on a daily basis gets looked at. If it applies to them, they apply it. If it don't, let it fly. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I'm just here to drop nuggets to chew on, wisdom, lead by example. And at the end of the day, what you do is what you do with it. Like the saying goes, you know, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Sure. I can give you the knowledge and nuggets to chew on and give you the game, but it's up to you. And the thing is with this young generation or the older barbers that are just set in their ways is that, you know, they ain't got no skill. And what I mean by that, they ain't got no passion. Right. To them, they see $1. They don't see the client. And again, that's not everybody, but it's majority. Right. And again, these are just my personal opinions. So if I'm stepping on any toes, sorry, not sorry. Right.
So like, do you feel like you have anything? I don't want to say bad, but you just there's certain things that this barber industry make you not want to do. Like, hey, I don't want to do this shit no more. Like, man, like this the environment, the people, because it's so grown out here now. Before there's only 1 or 2 shops. Now we have at least a handful of them, and it's like, and it's still evolving. Right. You feel like, hey, like I want to go elsewhere to do my craft because over here is oversaturated. I don't even want to do this anymore.
Hell no. I saw this post that says, I'm paraphrasing, but it said, regardless how oversaturated the market is, if you're called and you're chosen, keep pushing. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's so many rappers or inspiring rappers, but like my homeboy that's kind of taking off, Young Kobe, like, he just said one of the biggest things that always stuck with me. And again, you know, he ain't even a barber, but it still applies. Don't ever give up. Keep pushing. You know what I'm saying? And whatever that may be. You know, whether that's, you know, getting more education, being a mentor, donating your time, your talents. Right. You feel me? Sure. You know, so one of the things that I'm going to be working on moving forward, just to kind of give sight, again, I grew up on the east side. And I don't know if you heard about the 411 house.
No, I haven't. No, speak on it.
I mean, basically, it's just, in a nutshell, the best way to put it, it's like a little safe haven and outreach for like the youth. Okay. That, you know, that walk in, you know, troubled teens on the east side. And again, like, I find it personal because those are the streets I grew up on. So
on the east side.
On the east side. Right. So at the end of the day, like, that's my next kind of move after dropping this video. Is like, you know, I want to go donate my time. You know, I feel like at the end of the day, you know, God has blessed me with these talents. And at the end of the day, like, I just want to be a vessel. I want to be used. And like in scripture, it says in Isaiah, you know, it says, you know, send me. So it's like I told people about a year and a half ago, like, man, when I get my moment, I'm going to change this craft, man. And I just meant that. And whatever that means is just, again, every day just pushing, elevating, striving to be better than I was yesterday.
Yeah, because I seen, you know, from back in the day that you have did a lot for the community. You know what I'm saying? With the cuts and making sure that the kids is taken care of for school. Right. And stuff like that. That's still something you still honor, you still stand on. I know we in a smaller location, but, you know, in the future, are you still, you know, heading that way?
Definitely. You know, my thing is, you know, being a barber, you're supposed to be a pillar. And what I mean by that, you're supposed to be something in the community. And that's, again, my purpose for this video, this interview, documentary, biography, whatever, is just, again, shed light on it and to inspire, like, man, hopefully we can come together as a unit and start, like, you know, putting on for the city. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, doing, like, back to school events as a whole, reaching out, going to, like, feed my sheep, you know, donating haircuts over there. I used to do that back in the day. So again, like, I've been on this shit, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, like, it's, again, you know, if I'm trying to inspire, then I got to step back into that, even though I've already done it. But again, you know, I'm not looking for no shine or no pats on the back or brownie points. I appreciate it, but it's just because I genuinely love what I do, period. And I just want the younger generation, or hopefully the older generation, catch in and be like, you know what, I need to turn back up. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. So let's get into this whole swagger cuts. You know, the whole brand, the whole everything you stepping on, you stomping on. Like, give me drop the jewels on that. Drop the knowledge on how that come about, how that come afloat.
Me personally, way back when I was in barber school, you know, it was my thing. Like, when I think back then, remember, like, you know, when Soulja Boy and you know, let me turn my swag on.
Yeah,
and,
big
you know,
movement.
just all that shit. Yeah. And like for me, I feel like swagger applies to everybody, not just black. That's white, Mexican, Korean, Indian, everybody.
Yeah, everybody.
And, you know, and I'm sorry I didn't say every culture, but everybody under the sun. Right. You know, my thing is, like I spoke on earlier, is just, I want to give you that swagger. I want to give you that I want to see your chest pop out when you get up out this chair. And at the end of the day, like we were talking, ain't nothing like a good haircut and a consistent haircut. You see what I'm saying?
So is that so is the Barber Cartel that's how is that all about? Like, what's that all about? Like, is that a big brand? Is that something you came up with?
It was definitely not something I came up with. Something I just took to and adopted.
Right.
And the guy, like when he was up and coming, you know, it was just straight Barber Cartel. Yeah. That was his baby. But now he's evolved and got into like clothing stores, and so now it's just Cartel. Which I really don't rock with that, because to me then it makes it seem like that's that cartel shit. Right. The Barber Cartel is just a lifestyle, man. Right. It's like being a part of something. Like you see the hat, like, you know, I've been branding this for a minute. Yeah. And, you know, I've even had other barbers, you know, pick up on it. And like, so the dude got to the point where he was like, man, I'm gonna make you an ambassador. He was like, he just wanted it all organic, and everything I was doing was just natural. It ain't like I was looking for like any sponsorships or any of that. Yeah. So at the end of the day, you know, when I fuck with a brand, I fuck with a brand. Yeah. That's down to the Barber Geeks, True Barber.
Like, plug them in. They got a website where people can tap in with them?
Yeah. You know, you just go to truebarber.com, barbergeeks.com, The Rich Barber. And speaking of that, you know, I got the book over there, and people have often asked, because there's been times where I've hashtagged, you know, the Rich Barber Method. Shout out to Chuka the Barber, Zeta Barber. And, you know, like even with, you know, again, as much as I'm, you know, I guess established, I'm always trying to elevate. I'm always trying to grow. Right. And with the book, you know, the Rich Barber Method. Right. You feel me? It's just gems. It's knowledge. And I'm always trying to level up, and it just basically states like how to attract clients, keep them, and charge more. Right. Like I said, man, I'm 41 now, Corey.
For sure.
I'm tired. I don't want to come in here and pump out 15, 20, 30 haircuts. Can I? Hell yeah. But at the end of the day, why? Yeah. I want to come do 5 to 10 haircuts and walk out of here like $300, $400, $500.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So that's my goal, and I feel like I'm on my way. You know, there was a couple Mondays ago, and I'm not saying it to brag. I'm just saying it because, again, to let these barbers know it can be done. But again, you got to be available, come in early, stay late. That's how you charge the extra. Yeah. And I'm only cutting like 8, 10 heads. You know what I'm saying? Like there was 2 Mondays ago, bro, I made $550. Yeah. On a Monday?
Come on.
Bro, some people don't even see that on a full week's check.
Yeah, for sure.
Feel me? And again, I say that with all humbleness. But I got here.
Sure. I believe that hard work pay off, man. You know what I mean? And you definitely got it. You're definitely a big inspiration to people, you know what I'm saying, watching this. Because it's going to be a lot of people watching it, man, and everybody going to have mixed opinions about this. But I like what you're doing with this to not only put yourself out there in your brand, but just to talk about the world that I feel like is slept on a lot. Because we, as people, I feel like we all want to look fresh, we all want to look good, but we don't give credit to those people who make us do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who are putting us on.
Like I saw a post like, oh, you'll go tip the bartender or the stripper, but nigga, we the reason why you in there looking fly. You feel me?
The reason really shit going your way.
And I saw a post like, okay, you want to spend $50, $70 on an eighth or a quarter to get you high for 2 hours, but yeah, you don't want to spend $40, $50, $60 on your haircut that's gonna last you 2 weeks. Yeah. You feel me? But again, you know, priorities. You know, some people don't take a haircut as a lifestyle. They take it as I gotta go get a haircut. Like, I gotta go take out the trash. You know what I'm saying?
Right. what is your goal behind this, man? Like, what do you want people to understand? And like, as far as your message, you know what I mean? 'Cause I know you got a strong message behind all this, you know what I mean? And like your whole goal, whole purpose of putting the message out there. 'Cause I like where this is going, you know what I mean? And I like what you stand on.
Right. I mean, I think I spoke on it before, but basically, you know, my reasoning for this video is just to shed light and awareness on the craft. I feel like it's been tainted and watered down. That's why I like a lot of these people. Like when somebody asks you, like, "Hey, well, you know, what do you do?" "Oh, I cut hair." Right. Now, say it with a sense of pride. You know, if you feel you a master barber, well, I feel like I am. You know, and what defines a master barber, that's another thing that pisses me off about this young generation. They ain't even got 2-3 years in and put that label on them. And at the end of the day, what a master barber is, minimum 10 years in the craft. And then it's just your appearance. It's like your work ethic, your professionalism, your customer service. Are you able to cut any haircut efficiently? Any type of ethnicity? Can you cut it consistently? You know, again, it's just about your work ethic. That's what makes a master barber.
Right. You ever came across certain situations, like when it came to like clients that you can't affiliate with, like as far as like he knows this barber and I don't get along with this barber, or me and this barber don't touch in, because I've been in the shops, not even so much of that on that topic, but I've been in shops to where like certain people won't go to certain,
because who they fuck with.
Right, because they're like, oh, I'm not cutting him, but because he don't never come to me every time he go to such and such. So why am I going to take him?
Right, and
like, why is it like that? Like, why do barbers just get to that?
And again, I'm not going to name drop, but I know that all too well, and personally, and you know what I'm talking about. But at the end of the day, like I told this youngster, just be thankful you an option.
Yeah.
Who cares if you number 1 or number 10? At the end of the day, money is money.
Right.
And what they're looking for maybe be something that you're providing and doing, and boom, that becomes a regular.
Right.
Like I've gotten so many clients off other barbers because for the simple fact they don't return phone calls, text messages. Right. They're not available. They don't cut it on the haircut. You know what I'm saying? So, and like I've always told people, I'm not the best hair cutter. I'm not, but I'm one of them. And again, I educate myself. I watch tutorials. So because I feel like I'm at this certain pinnacle, I'm not where I want to be. So I still got plenty of growth. So, you know, for me, it's like it's always evolving, you know, with different products, different tools, different techniques, different styles. You feel me?
Right.
You know, everything always repeats itself. History repeats itself. Like, look at the Gumbies trying to come back. Look at the Pompadours. Look at the boxes. You know, we never thought as barbers kind of, you know, in our early years that none of this shit would come back. Right. But everything comes back. I mean, look at Champion. Look at Fila. You know, you used to get roasted wearing Champion back in the day.
Crazy. I remember when Fila first came back and they hit Journeys, and I bought a pair. I remember the reaction on people, because I think I bought them like as soon as they hit the shelf, not even knowing. I just seen Fila like stuck out. I remember buying them and going to school, and then like my senior year, and just seeing people like, what? Like, damn, shit just came back like that, and before you know it, just take back off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it worked the way it worked for sure.
Yeah,
you know
for sure.
what I mean? So like, what is I mean, shit. When we touch about a little bit of everything, you know what I mean?
Right.
But I want to talk a little bit more personal stuff, like going back to the beginning when you was locked up. Like how you overcome those things, man. Like when all the odds is against you, you know, being locked up and not having your license and being in all these fucked up situations that you know that you put yourself in these situations, but just coming out of them. You know, I'm not saying it's all your fault, but you know what I'm saying? Like you have a knowledge of what's going on, but like just coming out of that tunnel, just say, hey, you know what? Because a lot of people don't. A lot of people say, hey, like, fuck my license. Yeah. They're going to be gone when I get out.
Bro, and that's another thing. When I say there's so many talent out here, there's so many what I call M1 barbers.
Right.
Street barbers.
Right.
Because they didn't take the time to go get licensed. And it's just like, again, no name dropping, but they know who they are. There's some fire out here, bro.
Right.
But, again, it's just like, you gotta want to or you don't.
Right.
You feel me? And so for me, again, because I was in that situation, I just genuinely missed the whole vibe. Right. Bro, like I said, I was making like $400 to $500 a week. Sometimes I see $600. Bro, my first week back in the barbershop back in February of 17, I hit $1,200. Damn. That's a big difference.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So again, and like from that point on, that first week, Corey, I didn't see nothing less.
Right.
I just took off.
You feel me? Because at the end of the day, I invested in myself, going to these hair shows. I thought about being in competitions, bro, but like I heard this one dude called Marv, where like, you know, I don't know if you've seen him or heard about him, but he'd be on the gram and he'll be like, barbers.
Right.
And then he'll kick his little message. And like he said one thing, bro, that always stuck to me because, again, your cousin, Fabian Briscoe, you know, he wanted that internet fame. And I thought I did too.
Right.
But when Marv dropped the jewel, bro, like it stuck with me. They were like, at the end of the day, Tom from Target don't give a fuck if you got 2,000 followers. Right. He just wants a good haircut. And then Tom gonna bring John. John gonna bring Steven. You feel me? So the thing is, grasp your city before you try to grasp the internet.
Right.
You feel me?
Right. Yeah.
So you know,
start from the bottom to the top, not from the top
that's
to the
it.
bottom. Yeah.
And like me personally, I don't care to have their internet. Now, whatever this movie does, and whenever I drop this billboard, if that brings it to me, I'm gonna take it. But that's not my motive. You feel me?
Right.
Like at the end of the day, like when I started this thing, I said, Temple, Texas, I'm gonna make you proud. Temple birthed me. You feel me? Right. I ran all in through these streets.
Right.
And you know, and taking on a personal, intimate level, bro, I shouldn't be here. I should be dead. But
it seemed like you was involved in the streets heavy, you know what I mean? And it's like, I can still see it in you, but I love the professional when you bring it. Right.
You know, that's why I changed. That's why I switched up, you know?
Yeah.
If I'm going to do this thing, I'm going to be real with myself. I got hood tendencies.
Right.
But I know how to adapt. And that's the part of it. You got to be a chameleon, or if you got to sell out per se, oh well. That's part of it.
Right.
Some people are so stuck, like, oh, fuck that. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not doing no shampoo. I ain't doing no facial. Shit, I am.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm laughing at y'all. But it's funny because now more often I'm starting to see these shampoos, these facials.
Right.
So, again, they may not give me my shine, but they know what's up.
Yeah.
They know what's up.
Yeah. I mean, I feel the same way. I definitely understand where you're coming from. Cause I feel like a lot of people, you know what I mean? Like, I never try to make it seem like I'm more than what I am. At the same time, I'm humble, but it do be feeling like, damn, like I do get overlooked. You know what I mean? Or when certain things goes on that I don't even care about, it's like you getting overlooked. You know what I mean? And trying to stand out from all these other people. You know what I mean?
Because that's because you're not believing in yourself.
Right.
See, like like I said, and I'll keep saying I'm not the best barber cutting wise. I'm just the best barber because I'm available and I'm consistent, I'm reliable, and I'm professional. And I know how to adapt to any situation. I'm going to cut your business white man. And like I said earlier, you know, I kind of cut off the hood clients because, again, I'm over here in a different area. You feel me? And, you know, it's just different here. So like I told a couple clients that I had to cut off, it's like, bro, you can't come over here like this. Oh, fam, you know how I am. You know how I roll. Exactly. So please don't take it personal. It's just business. And at the end of the day, if you can't respect my business, because at the end of the day, this ain't my whole building. I just got a suite. So these people don't want to see that shit.
Exactly.
You feel me?
Yeah.
They don't want to see you or smell you smelling like weed coming in here with your pants hanging off of you. So at the end of the day, I had to make a decision.
Yeah, grown man and no man. Yeah.
That's it.
For
and
sure.
either you evolve with me or you fall off.
Right. I definitely, you know, appreciate your skills and what you bring to the table, man, you know what I mean? And I remember you speaking earlier about being clean and being fresh and being presentive, you know what I mean? Because I done been to some shops and dudes, man, it seems like they just been wearing the same thing.
Anything.
And it's like,
looking
man,
like they finna go hit a lick.
And
then flip a brick.
And then, you know, speaking of that too, like even, I've seen, I don't know if it's a thing where I notice, okay, I'm trying to get my thoughts here. Okay. I notice a lot of barbers, they all work on their own time, their own schedule.
Right.
They all got their own flow.
Right.
And you can tell the ones who, although it's somebody else's shop, they treat this like a business of their own.
Right.
And for what they represent.
Like I did at Ace of Faith.
Right.
The way that was, and again, it's not throwing no slugs to the owner, but people used to tell me and used to think that was my shop.
I did too, yeah.
But dude, I can't help it you ain't here like that.
Yeah.
I can't help it that like I'm available. Get on my level. You feel me? And again, it ain't no slug. It's just reality. And you know, I was the one posting on the page because the way I looked at it, I wanted to see him succeed and shine. And I'm under the umbrella, so we get to benefit off of that. So regardless of what I was doing when I was doing the back to school shit, and when I told him
offer complimentary drinks,
Right.
add the air hose.
Yeah.
As barbers, we appreciate that. And like I even told them, like, look, you can go up on the booth rent. Long as you're upgrading the shop, we don't mind paying booth rent.
Right.
More. You feel me?
You providing more, yeah.
Right. So at the end of the day, like, bro, like, and I don't try to mean or take the shine, but I call a spade a spade.
Right.
It is what it is. And that Ace of Spades got that exposure because of me.
Right.
People may not agree with that. Oh well. But we know what it is.
Yeah. And it's crazy, man. Like it's crazy to see y'all like part ways,
Bro.
for whatever y'all. You know, we don't got to go into detail, but
Yeah,
just
nah.
to see y'all part ways and you know, I just say at the end of the day, I hope in the future, man, that y'all can patch shit up and
I hope so too.
And shit will be on the right level. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because y'all was cool before this shit or whatever it is, and it's like not necessarily my business or the people's business, but it's just the fact that even if he watches or he don't watch this, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I just feel like that money shit can get in the way of anybody.
Oh, he gonna watch it.
You know what I mean? The money shit gonna get in the way, and it's like business is business, but at the same time, like I feel like sometimes we gotta come back as people and rewind and let's get this going from the go.
Like my thing, my vision, especially like when I open mine, I don't want to just have any barber.
Mm-hmm.
I want to build a family, a team. That's why I don't want no 8 or 10, 12 barbers.
Right,
That's
like
too
most
many
shops.
emotions. That's too many issues. I want a family. I want a team. And I want them to feel like they got a voice. Yes, ultimately I'll have the ultimate say so. But this isn't a dictatorship. If you feel like you got an idea, we'll listen to it and we'll take a vote.
Right.
Again, because in order to keep a team, a family, you got to value them.
Yeah.
And again, these are things that I learned from other shops. So, you know, I've worked minimum at least like 5, 6 different shops in my journey.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of took a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and what I felt like was fucked up and wasn't working, boom. You know, nah, I'm not going to do that. So again, that's why I've always said, when I open a big shop, ain't nobody going to want to leave me until they're ready to venture out on their own.
Yeah.
And as me being the shop owner and the one that's kind of groomed them, I'm going to help them get there.
Yeah.
Because again, this should be a brotherhood, a union.
Right.
So it's like you want to see that person shine because again, that's a reflection of you.
And I believe that because, you know, I was talking to, you know, my wife the other day about, you know, the whole 9 to 5 and a lot of people not understanding about who work, you know, people who don't work 9 to 5s and them chasing their dreams and their hustle. And one of the things is, she said, what do you not like about it? I said, you know what? I just believe as a manager or owner or whoever runs the business, I said, why would you not want to make your team feel like, hey,
You value them.
value them, like, so like, hey, like, you mind coming in today? Oh, no problem, I got you.
Exactly.
And make them feel like family, you know what I mean? But I think this is the way managers and owners are just the way they train to be so aggressive and cutthroat.
Yeah.
That it make people say, you know, I don't want to be here. Or he's an asshole. Or
Absolutely.
And I feel like that it's hard to build a team like that. And
Yeah.
if you got like a corporate business, they gonna come and go because it's corporate. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're gonna find another and they're gonna keep their attitude. But I feel like me doing my own business, you running your own business, I think that's very, very important to make people feel that way. Like I'm trying to build a team now, and just to have that, or to hear you speak like that, like just letting you know, like you do got to value your team, you got to value your players,
Right.
and that definitely make a big difference and shit too.
I mean, you know, and I compare myself a lot to LeBron James. You know,
Right.
they call himself the Chosen One.
Chosen1.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So I said, if I ever run into him, I'm gonna look at that shit. You know, I had this shit before that.
Yeah,
But I mean, you look how he orchestrates on the court. You feel me? He knows he can get his anytime he wants.
Absolutely.
But he trying to make you better.
Right.
He trying to put you in a better position.
Right.
And that's what the thing I saw another post, I'm big on quotes and memes, is that I'm paraphrasing, but it's like you don't have to be the best. That's what makes you a leader. You make everybody else around you better.
Right.
That's what makes you the leader. You feel me?
For sure.
So, you know, I hold on dear to that because, you know, let's take it to some hood shit, to the weed game. Oh, I'm the plug.
Right.
Fuck the plug. I want to be the socket. You feel me?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm on some other shit.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to be Jordan. I want to be Phil.
Right.
I'm on some other shit. I'm going to orchestrate this thing. You feel me?
Right.
And like I used to do that shit with him. He used to get so fucking mad. Fuck that. I ain't just pitching. Well, then nigga, you can be Jordan.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be Phil.
Right.
But nigga, we know what's up. So again, you know,
I say all that to say this. It's about leading by example. And when you are, it's okay to be cocky. It's okay to be confident. However your perception is. I'll wear all those crowns.
Right.
And I will wear them proudly. Because, again, I've gotten here. Like I tell these youngsters, like my high school clients, you know, they're like, damn, fam, I didn't think you was 41, bro. I thought you were like 28, 29. Nah, bro. But I'm thankful because a lot of people don't get to see this age. You feel me?
Right.
Oh, my wife like, you ain't gonna cover that gray in your beard? Fuck no. I earned this shit. And like they say, it's wisdom. Whatever. But it's just like for me, like I tell these youngsters, man, I've been your age. You ain't been mine. Get here. And hope you get here.
Right.
And that applies to any aspect, but I personalize it with the barber craft because it's not about how many clients you get, it's about how many clients you can keep.
Right.
You feel me?
You know, speaking of clients, I heard, you know, I know a couple people in the industry, you know, some females and stuff like that, and I heard some of their bosses even tell them, like, they try to get them to say, hey, you know, if you made 5 clients this week, we need to see if we can get 5 new clients next week. You know what I mean? And I believe, like, those type of things will set you apart from the rest. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Just climbing up because at the end of the day, like, that's going to build your brand. That's going to expose you.
Right.
And like I said, Tom brings in Jerry brings in whoever. I mean, I believe that goes a long way for sure, man. But,
Yeah, facts.
like, when it comes to, like, the social media part of it, you know, like the new era, it's kind of hard to stay away from it. You know what I mean? Like, I've been trying to stay off it a lot. But it's just like one of those things that you kids can't avoid. You know what I mean? No matter how, it's almost like you need it, but you don't want it. You know what I mean?
You know, that's like
booksy and all that stuff.
That's like Jaime told me when I came home from prison. You know, I was never no social media.
Right,
MySpace, all that bullshit.
Yeah, MySpace.
Yeah, so it was just like, bro, he was like, you need to get you a Facebook.
Right.
I'm like, I don't want to, but he was like, man, you need to let people know you're home and, you know, so it'll take off for you. And it took off, but it came with another demon too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and
sure.
I know you know what we're talking about.
Sure.
So it's just like, you know, at the end of the day, you got to treat it fragile. You feel me?
Right.
Because like I used to tell, and the reason why I'm using Jaime so much because that's where I spend majority of my journey.
Yeah.
You feel me?
That's part of it.
And it's not shooting no slugs. So please, bro, don't take it as such. But I just want this raw and uncut. I used to tell him, man, like, you ain't got to be a thug all the time. You a businessman. Put a smile on your face. You're the first thing they see, the last thing they see on your way out. Speak. You feel me?
Yeah.
And it's just like, you know, again, it begins and ends with you. So that's why I felt like, you know, let me step up and just take over, per se.
Right.
And so it's just like, you know, my thing, bro, ultimately is just, I hope when people hear this, or if they don't hear it, I hope eventually they'll hear it. But again, it was no disrespect to anybody at all. These were just my personal opinions and things that I've endured and went through. So it's just a personal situation. Now, as far as the barber craft as a whole, again, I'm personalized Temple, Texas, 254. My city.
You know, you're sitting at the cut you off, but like,
Nah.
what's some of the places you can work at? We spoke a little bit about everybody, but like tap in some of the shots that were like where you jumped around from. You know, I know you mentioned some of them, but you know, I know you've been a little bit everywhere. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's something that you avoid and something that you don't avoid. You know what I mean? Like,
Right. I mean, again, it was just part of my journey. You know, like I said, I initially started out Diamond Cuts downtown, and then like I said, that literally lasted like 2 months. And then I went to Granville, and I touched bases on that. And then after Granville, that's when I went to prison.
Right.
I mean, you know, like I said, I did a 2 on a 12.
Right.
And so I'm 5 years out from finishing my parole, thank God.
Yeah.
And
you still on parole as we speak?
As we speak.
I never knew that. It's crazy.
2025.
Yeah.
So again, just that alone keeps me in check. You feel me? Because I don't want to get to a level and then it's just like all for nothing. And I don't want to run the risk of losing my license again. Right. I told myself and I prayed and I told God, if you reinstate me and give me my license, I promise you I will use this barber chair as my pulpit. I will use it to speak to the youth. I will take care of it. I will honor it. Like, whereas before I did it. You know, like I said, I was just your typical bullshit barber. It got to the point where, like, I was so deep in the game, Corey, is that, like, I would literally not even go to the shop all week. I would come Friday. This was when I was at Granville. And I would pay my booth rent, maybe cut 2 or 3 heads, maybe come in Saturday for a couple, and that was it. You feel me?
Right.
Because at the end of the day, I didn't honor it. I didn't appreciate it. I took advantage of it. So like when I came back and worked through to get my license back, I just told God, like, you know, just let me be a vessel. Let me be a light. You know, like scripture says, you know, let your light shine amongst men with good deeds. That way, you know, your Father in heaven will be proud of you. You feel me? Because at the end of the day, you know, we tend to seek reward and pats on the back from man, when in all actuality, it's God that allows us to move and breathe the way we do. And so, as like they say, you know, as we get the gain, he gets the glory. You feel me? So it's just like, again, I'm not a perfect man, and nor do I claim to be, but I'm a good man. I'm a trying man. And anybody that knows me knows that I got a good heart. You know, and I will try to do whatever I can for a person. You feel me? So
that's good, man, to have a mind frame like that. Like, even being on like parole, like how is it? How you move with like is it? Do you feel like things are at a risk when you moving? Like, cause you do, like you said, you still have that street in you. You still have that. I know you still got that go up level,
right?
When it need be.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, but again, you know, I'm grown now. You know, my mindset
how does it affect
is different.
you? You know what I mean? So to speak.
It really don't,
right?
Because see, parole's not like probation, where you got to do all this extra shit, community service, pay $200-$300 restitution fees, yada 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 yada. You know, parole, I had to pay my little $18. When the beginning, when I first came home, I had all these classes to go to, but I've completed all that. So now, you know, I've gotten to a level where they consider me low moderate, where I just report every other month, a home visit every 3 months. But for me, that keeps me in check. You know, it lets me know that at the end of the day, you know, shit can go left. So that just kind of, you know, motivates me alone just to keep doing the next right thing. You know, and like they say, you know, I heard this in one of the classes, nothing changes if nothing changes. You know, you got to change your people, places, and things. And sometimes that's what I'm saying. Everybody's not going to evolve with you. Everybody's not going to go with you. And you have to understand, like, sometimes you got to cut people off.
Yeah, and I'm going to touch on that, cutting people off, and, you know what I'm saying, being from the streets and making that transition to, you know, not fuck with certain people to get where you want to be. You know, you got to have that drive and that vision to where you got to make that change. You know what I mean? And I definitely salute you on that for sure, man. Becoming a man and standing up and all 10 toes down, like, for sure. But let's focus more a little bit, you know, before we get out of here. Let's talk a little bit about your business, the brand, Swagger Cut, the Chosen. Let's talk about those things, your hours of operation. You know, how can people get a hold of you? You know, those things more on the positive side. But you've been on positive shit, but just talk about, you know, where people can really tap in with you and get to, you know, lock in with you. You know what I mean?
Again, like, you know, I had to evolve. I had to catch in. You know, I was an old school barber where, like, nigga just call me, message me. But no, like, you know, everything is about conveniency nowadays. So, you know, that's why I had to jump on the Booksy app.
Right.
And that's where you can book with me at chosen1.booksy.com. And all my services on there, all my information's on there as far as hours of operation, which are Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 7, Saturday from 8 to 3. But again, I'm available before those hours and after hours, but you're going to pay an extra 20. Next year, I'm going up to an extra 30. Because at the end of the day, I don't want to do it. But so, like, if you're going to take me from my family, then you're going to pay for that. But at the end of the day, you're going to get an experience out this world. And, you know, I love that app. That's when I got on that app back in 17. Bro, like, when I say I leveled up, because, you know, people come in from out of town. And that's what I do. Like, I noticed in the month of October, because, you know, I track what I make a day, a week, a month, and that's how I tally my shit. And, you know, I tally new clients. In the month of October, I cut 16 new clients. And out of that 16, 8 of them has returned to me. And the reason why I probably didn't get all full 16, because some of them don't get a haircut every month. You know? You see what I'm saying? Not saying that I won't take them clients, but I don't care to. I want to see you every week, every 2, every 3 tops. But I get it, you know, money's tight, but I know my worth. You feel me? I put my time in. I'm going to give you the best of me every haircut. You know? So to me, like I said, it's a mindset. Like, you got to know you the shit. Call it cocky, I call it confident. Tomato, tomato.
For sure, man. I'm going to ask you one good question before we head out of here, man. What is one of your biggest downfalls in doing this business? What is one of your biggest things that you just I guess you'd say you kind of not necessarily regret, but you just can't stand being in part of this game because there's always something, you know. It's always like that one person at work who always fuck up the whole job, no matter how good it is. Like, what is that in the industry for you, or being in this area that make you just feel like, fuck, like this shit is just not what it is at times?
Nah, it ain't never not what it is. But you know, as much as being a successful barber, and I always put on like be available. That's the biggest downfall, being available. Because then they get the mindset, they can get you anytime. So like when shit comes up, you gotta cancel them, you gotta reschedule them for whatever reason. And I've ran into this a lot lately. And at the end of the day, like, what do you want me to do, man? Like, I'm not just a barber. Mm-hmm. I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm a son, I'm a friend. I got shit to do. Life comes up. I can't help it if my child gets sick. I can't help it if I gotta run to here, run there. Mm-hmm. Because bro, like, I personalize, I internalize the client, because again, I treat my clients like I want to be treated. So it's like, I know what it feels like wanting and needing that haircut, especially like if you got something major coming up. But my clients too know that I'll do what I can to get you somewhere. If I got to get you before hours and after hours and not charge you the extra fee because I had to cancel you, I do shit like that. Right. Because at the end of the day, I want them to feel valued. I want them to feel wanted and needed. Mm-hmm. Like they need me, I need them. Again, you could be the best barber in the world, but if you ain't got a canvas to do it on, then it's all for nothing. Right. So, you know, my thing is like, I try to value everybody like I value myself. Like I've always said, think about your star player, and I'm my star player. But I put my clients in that position and try to honor them as such. Right.
And then like, as far as like what's the song, like what's the meaning behind the songs you chose for like this interview and stuff like that? You said you want to throw in there, like what them songs represent to you?
Them songs represent everything to me. And like when it comes in, when this comes together and we're gonna sit down and edit this thing and go down through there. Like when it kicks in where it says that that 2 Chainz, that Meek Mill song, or not, DJ Drama, waiting on my moment. I've been waiting on my moment, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, you know, that's why I grabbed the crown. I grabbed the title belt. It's my time. And like I said, I don't know how it's gonna last, but I'm gonna ride this wave for the longest. The next song, when, you know, it comes in, again, I'm gonna kind of go ahead and give them a little bit, you know, when I'm opening that door into the suite, you know, and it says it was all a dream. This has been a dream since I was at barber school. I talked about this shit back in 2000, you know, 2009 when I came back to finish. Like, I was torn between swagger cuts and kingdom cuts. And the kingdom cuts was more or less because I wanted to use the Kansas City Royals hat. Right. And, you know, just kind of use that. But at the same time, I didn't want to be a hypocrite. I'm stay true to myself. There's going to be times where you're going to hear some thug music, some cussing. So my thing is, their perception is kingdom cuts, like it's just going to be holier than thou all the time. And it's not. Right. You know, I am who I am. Sure. And then also the last song where it is My Declaration from Antoine Hill. Shout out to KMF, Kingdom Music. There's a part that in it that I'm gonna have you put that says, if you knew where I was headed, you would clap for me. Again, a lot of people ain't gonna like this because I'm exposing a lot of people. Yeah. I'm exposing the truth. But again, it's much deeper than that. It's like, bro, like I said, I shouldn't be here. I should be dead. I should be still doing time. Like everything. Right. So that's why I'm saying, like, you know, again, it ain't on no flex shit. It's just, it's my testimony. It's my story. Like, you know, I'm proud how far I've come. Like, I was sitting there at the table with wifey last night, and I was just like, man, like, this shit has been a journey like a motherfucker, man. And it just takes me back to, like I said, you know, just being at the bottom. And now I'm like at the elite per se. And I'm not even nowhere near of where I'm trying to get to. Because again, my goal is to have 2 shots. 1 in Temple, 1 in Belton. Yeah. That's my 5-year goal. And also with that being said, again, you know, everything I do it methodically and strategically. And so in 5 years, I get off parole. You feel me? Right. So when that time comes, that's going to put me at basically 46 years old. I pray and hope that I can cut into my 60s and 70s and cut efficient and cut with precision like I do now. But I got to be real with myself. You know, I'm type 2 diabetic.
Oh,
You know what that comes with.
Right. Yeah, I got
Health
people
issues.
with diabetes. I know what you're going through.
Health conditions.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
So at the end of the day, like I said, you know, I don't want to claim that or speak that up, but that's just reality. So my goal next year is to beat that thing and get off all my meds and whatnot. But like I said, I plan on reaching out to TDR, the Texas Department of License and Regulation, because again, every situation is a case-by-case situation. And, you know, me having a dope case per se, you know, I'm going to see if I'm qualifiable to work for the state. That way I can be an inspector, or I can be an examiner, or I can just be admin type shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, you know, again, there's a method to my madness. That's why I'm trying to get my barbershops off the ground. And then in 5 years, I don't have to rely on cutting so much. There's my passive income from my barbershops I'm collecting. And then I can go get a check from the state, get my benefits, and basically eventually I'm going to fade out.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of prepping.
So like, when it comes to like all this stuff, like, I mean, some people don't know when it comes to like the business part of it. You know what I'm saying? And I know you calculate, like I'm still learning stuff as well. And I don't want to sit here and talk about me. I just see so much comparison. Right. And I'm learning, and it's crazy watching it because I'm learning a lot of shit at the same time. But also, like, when it comes to your business, like LLCs and all that stuff and branding yourself, like, how do you go about those type of things? Or that's something that you even dove into, or you haven't even talked about, or really?
Right. I mean, a lot of people think it's really hard to open a shop, and it really ain't.
Right.
Again, you find a private owner, or if you do go through a bank, you get a bank loan, depending on how big of a shop you're trying to have.
Right.
But like for me, for instance, you know, I'm just trying to do everything out of pocket, out of cash myself. That way I don't have nothing hanging over my head or owing anybody else. You know, I've had several people that wanted to invest, but at the end of the day, I don't want nobody in my pocket.
Right.
You know, I want to do my own shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I want to move how I want to move. And everything I bring home is me. But one thing that I've learned, like your first year of business, you don't profit shit. You put that back into your business. Right. And that's why, like with me, you know, I go so hard with the marketing, the promo shit. Like even with this video, this is promo shit. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, you know, this was my kind of my last hoorah to end this quarter. Because I started back here in May. And so, again, I was already envisioning this shit when I saw that interview that you did with Dumbway. And that was like, hell, that was like I said, damn near a year ago.
Yeah, it was.
You
crazy.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get a lot of requests from them. And I really don't do too many, man. I really don't really tap into many. But, you know, I know there's certain stories that people want to tell. And I feel like you're one of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really want to get it out there. That's why I don't mind doing this. Because it ain't about the money part of it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, to me, like helping the community get what they want. You know what I'm saying? Get the exposure they want. You know what I mean? Like, as long as you happy. Hey, and then like you go back to spending money, you know what I'm saying? Like spending money to, like, I guess like you deal with a lot of street dudes. They feel like, oh, you taxing X amount of money because you just want the money. But to me, it's like I'm investing this for y'all. Right. You know what I mean? Like the clippers for you, the clippers, the lights. I remember before a lot of barbers weren't using lights. You know what I mean? It was straight hire the shop boy. That's what we were running with. You know what I mean? Like the blowers, all that stuff is really that's for y'all. But at the same time, for me at the same time. You know what I mean? And it's just trying to get people to understand that part of it when it comes to that. But
absolutely,
the investment part.
And and that's the thing is like a lot of people don't invest. Like I know some barbers, bro, like they got one clipper, one edger.
It's crazy.
Nah, bro. And then especially moving in with the whole like cordless shit, you gotta have. That's why like you know I carry the name Chosen1 #2 Clippers. I've been doing that shit since Granville. You feel me? Because remember when 2 Chainz came out, so I just turned it into 2 Clippers. You feel me?
Sure.
So, you know, again, I was already working on my stage name and my brand, and that's why I said I've evolved so much, and now that I'm older, you know, that shit was in my 20s. You feel me? So, it's time to grow. It's time to let go. So, that's why I said I'm dropping the 2 Clippers next year. It's just Chosen1. You feel me?
Yeah, for sure. Chosen1, the only one, you feel me?
You know what I'm saying?
No, for shit show, man. Before we wrap it up, man, just tap in with the people, man, and let them know, you know, what you got going, and as far as like, hey, it's you, it's all. It's all you. You know what I mean? So,
man, I ain't gonna keep y'all people too long. First of all, Corey, thank you.
Nah, for shit show.
I appreciate you.
Anytime, bro.
Again, Temple, Texas, I love y'all. I do. To this barber craft, I love you. To my enemies, my haters, I love my family, my friends, my clients. Thank you. I'm nothing without y'all, and I mean that shit like to my core. I know it sounds so cliche, but I promise you, Corey, like I feel like I got some of the best clients, bro.
Oh yeah, for sure,
bro.
man.
Like when I say loyal than a motherfucker,
yeah,
and like will wait for me. But again, I've even told some of my clients, I don't care if you have an extra barber. My firm believes you need to have 2 barbers.
Yeah.
You got your main, and then you got your backup.
Yeah, for sure.
Because again, you don't know if that barber gonna be sick. You gotta go ahead out of town. Whatever the case.
Mm-hmm.
So again, send me. I'll be that extra.
Yeah,
I'll be your backup. I'll be the pippin. Whatever. But at the end of the day, like I tell people, shit, I hope you ready to tell your barber bye. You feel me?
Yeah, for sure.
But you know, again, just to seal the deal, I appreciate y'all from my heart. Thank y'all for taking the time and listening. It's been a lot of content. I hope y'all watch it all the way through, or hope y'all come back to it and really see it all the way through, because I feel like some of y'all may be like, oh, this motherfucker talking that shit. He on some cocky shit.
Right.
But see it through and understand the vision.
Yeah.
Understand the want to and the how to. And all this shit don't mean a fuck to me. It don't.
Right.
I was just on some flex shit, but at the same time, it was my time. And if you agree with me, then you will clap for me. And if you don't,
for sure.
But Corey,
hey,
thank you, brother.
You know I'm gonna come clutch anytime. This not where it ends though. You know what I mean?
No, sir.
We got a lot more coming. We got a lot more videos coming in the future. We're gonna hit the beginning of the year with a bang, and we're gonna keep the wheels rolling. All gas, no brake, for sure. And
well, no. For me, I'm done.
You done?
I'm done.
You done?
The next thing, the time I'm gonna utilize you is when I get the big shot, because then it's not Fab no more.
Right,
it's Swagger Cuts as a whole, as a team. So just plan to see that. If not in 2021, 2022 for sure. I'm coming.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, bro, that billboard, be on the lookout.
Yes, sir.
And what it means for me. A lot of people might look at it as a flex, or I'm trying to show out. So let me go and bring some clarity real quick before we end. And look me in my eye when I say this shit. It's not about no flex. It's not about, I'm better than the next barber. All it is that I love my city, and I want to be an inspiration and a motivation to this barber craft, and to show y'all that it can be done. You can make 6 figures in Temple, Texas, being a barber. But again, that comes with consistency, being available, and just staying true to the craft, paying homage to it. I've always said that barbers are a reflection of their clients, as well as clients are a reflection of their barbers. And I'm gonna end right there.
For sure. Let's go. Swagger Cuts.
We in here. Barber Cartel. It's a lifestyle.
People tell me what I wouldn't be, and I done been so many places that I shouldn't be, but I'm thankful for his grace. I seek his face, he could be through with me. I say he saved my life and people laugh at me, but if you seen where I was headed, you would clap with me. Let me celebrate this life that I've been